Unless you've been living under a rock or you just don't know anything about anything, you know that businesses, they want more customers, they want more money, and their whole primary focus is growth. And when you watch this video, for example, you probably saw an ad. You open up your phone, you go onto any social media, you'll see an ad. You step outside, you'll see ads. You turn on the TV, you'll see ads. You get the point. The reason you see all these ads is because businesses want to grow. And when that happens, when the desire for growth is there, there's big opportunities to take advantage of that desire that business owners have and make money from it. And what I want to do in this video is share exactly how you can take advantage of it in this digital age in a way that so many business owners don't know how to do because they haven't got the skills, they haven't got the time to learn the skills, they haven't maybe got the desire to learn the skills, and we can step in and make money off the goals that these businesses have. And it all comes down to selling businesses the thing that they actually want. And for over a year now, I've made over 100K every single month selling businesses the one thing that they actually want. And it's a lot easier to actually find this thing and sell it than most people think it actually is. People think it's a lot more difficult than it is. So let me explain. So let's say I own a billboard in the middle of town, and I am trying to get businesses to spend money to advertise on that billboard. The business owner is going to say, okay, like apart from like how much is it? How long is it going to be on there for? Blah, blah, blah. Is it going to work? I'm going to spend money with you. And let's say I'm going to spend $1,000 on this billboard. And is it going to bring me any customers? Well, it's not going to bring you customers, but it might bring you leads. Depending on the business, most time there needs to be some form of interaction between a potential customer and the business before a potential customer is turned into an actual customer. Usually a conversation, whether it's a house visit or whatever it may be, there needs to be a conversation. So will that billboard generate me leads? Owner of the billboard says, I don't know. And so therefore it becomes a bit harder to sell the business owner the advertising space on that billboard because there's inherent risk that it might not work. Now, what I've been doing for a very long time now is I'm selling the business owners the thing that they want, which is leads. So imagine if I said, I own that billboard again, and I said to the business owner, do you want to advertise on this billboard? And they say, how much is it? And I said, it's completely free. It's not going to cost you anything. But every time somebody calls you, I'm going to charge you per lead. I'm going to charge you for the results that it generates. So therefore it's completely risk-free, Mr. Business Owner. How does that sound? Like, so many businesses are going to say yes to that. Not every, but so many businesses are going to say yes to that because there is inherently no risk. There's loads of upside and there's very little to no downside. And that's what I've been doing, but not with billboards, but with new technologies that most business owners don't have the time to figure out. They don't understand themselves and they don't want to learn it either. And just by learning a simple skill, you can make an awful lot of money. And I'll get onto like how to actually get even more leverage from this particular skill shortly. But what I'm doing is I am reaching out to businesses and I'm saying, do you want more leads on a pay per lead model where there's zero risk, zero downside, only upside? So many businesses say, yes, please. I then sell them leads and I per month make a lot more money from these businesses than if I were to say, I'll do your marketing for you and I'll charge you 2K per month. Because that's hard to sell because there's risk on the business owner's front. They got to give you 2K every single month, regardless of results. But your earning potentials are capped. Versus when I say to these businesses, I'll just charge you per lead. After I've generated them leads, they end up paying me more money than they ordinarily would, but they're also happy to pay me this money because they're getting a fair exchange of value. They give me money, I give them leads. If I don't give them any leads, they don't give me any money. If I only give them a tiny amount of leads, they only give me a tiny amount of money. So you can see how it's like a fair exchange. So it makes signing clients really easy. You can make more money from each client. And the way that we do it is through cold email. Cold email is one of the most effective ways to sign clients. If you're unfamiliar with the term cold email, it's basically like an email being sent to somebody that you don't already know. And so we reach out to businesses and we simply say, do you want more leads on a pay per lead basis? And it's as simple as that. And where so many people go wrong is they try to overcomplicate it. I was speaking to one of our students the other day who sent me his email copy that he was going to use to reach out to potential clients. And there was all this like over the top stuff in the email copy. And it just was like It doesn't need to be that complicated. Signing clients is pretty easy. We just simply say, hey, do you want more leads on a pay per lead basis? There's zero risk, there's zero downside. I'll do all the work. You simply pay me per lead. The reason we use cold email is because A, it's really low cost, and B, you can reach, within reason, an unlimited number of people. I could next week send out a message to 100,000 business owners. If I was to do that through any other form of marketing, it would either be impossible or extremely costly, or a lot more costly at least than doing cold emails. Say, for example, if I was going to send out 100,000 letters in the post, it costs a lot of money. If I was to reach 100,000 people through paid ads, it's going to cost me a lot of money. If I do it through cold email, it's not free, but it's damn well as close as you're going to get to free. And so what we do is we reach out to these businesses and we say, look, I know you want more leads. I know you want more customers. Do you want me to help you find some? No risk, no nothing. They say yes. And then we say, cool. And then they go, how are we going to do it? And we say, you know how I sent you an email to basically start working with you? And they're like, yeah. Well, we're going to do the same thing for you. So we're going to send out emails on your behalf to your potential customers so that you can do what I've just done, which is send out an email to get a new customer. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. So now I know that it works because it worked on me, is what the customer usually says. They understand that it's worked on them, therefore it will work for them. And that's another great thing. It's not a barrier for newbies to get started. They don't need case studies. They don't need testimonials, because the testimonial is the fact that you've just, you started a conversation with a potential customer and you're just going to do the exact same thing for them. So you don't need this like plethora or big vault of, case studies, testimonials, recommendations, etc., etc. So then we just do the exact same thing that we've done, which is send out cold emails, but we do it on behalf of our clients. So what that means is that we only need to learn one skill to generate the client, and the same skill to generate the client's results. So we don't need to learn all these complicated things. We don't need to learn how to build funnels. We don't need to learn how to run ads, do content, do all this stuff. We just need to learn one skill, which is cold email. Compare that to any other business in the world. Literally any other business. Just like even a really simple business. Think you're a gardener, for example. You need to learn how to do marketing, how to do sales, and how to cut grass. And you need to learn all the things about gardening. Because if you don't do marketing, you're not going to get inquiry. If you can't learn sales, then the inquiries that you do get aren't going to turn into customers, because there's loads of competition and there's inherent risk. I'm going to pay you money. What's my lawn going to look like after I've paid you money? So you need to have some level of sales skill. It obviously doesn't need to be very high, but you do need some level of sales skills. And then you need to be actually good at gardening. With us, we just send out cold emails and we say, we're going to generate you leads. There's zero risk, zero anything. So we don't need to actually be good at sales at all. We just need to literally have a conversation with somebody. And all we need is that one skill, which is cold email, because it allows us to not only sign our own clients, but sign our clients' clients as well, or generate leads for our clients. So it really is so simple. And if it sounds simple, it's because it genuinely is simple. So now here's how we can go one step further, right? And this is where a system that I have been developing over the years, which I call the lead arbitrage system. And it's everything that I just talked about there. But here's where it gets different. Here's where it gets cool. We learn the skill of cold email so that we can generate our own clients. And then what we do is we partner up with people that also have a high level of skill when it comes to doing cold email. And we say to our client, you know how we're going to charge you per lead? We're going to charge you, let's say, I'll just use arbitrary numbers. Let's say I'm going to charge you $100 per lead. We cool with that, Mr. Client? Mr. Client says, yeah, cool with that. We then go to the lead generator, somebody that's already got the skills with cold email, and we say, I've got a client. Can you work on a pay per lead basis? And I'll pay you $50 per lead that you generate. And they're like, yeah, sounds good. You say, okay, cool. You sit, you rub your hands and you wait. And when the lead comes from the cold email expert, you pass it on to the client. And then the client pays you $100, and then you keep 50 of it, and you pay the lead generator $50. And now you have just made $50 without doing any of the work. All you've had to do is generate the client and make a connection with a cold email expert, and then you sit in the middle and you use arbitrage to your advantage. You charge a business owner X per lead, and you pay somebody a little bit less for that lead. Usually it's like 50% of what you charge the business owner is what you're going to pay the person to deliver. The amount that you can charge per lead for a business depends on the business. If leads are worth loads of money to a business, you can charge loads of money to that business owner, and you can pay somebody in accordance to how much you have charged the business. And so that is the lead arbitrage system, and that is what I do. And it's what I've done for quite a while now. So instead of having to create a complicated business that my clients own, that's how they make their money, and they've got staff, they've got overheads, they've got loads and loads of moving parts and pieces, and their business is really stressful. All I do is just send out some emails, get some clients really easily, and then I have a pool of people that I say, right, go get me leads for this business. When they get them, they like digitally raise their hand and say, got a lead for this client? I say, cool, boom. Swap, exchange of money happens, and I keep the difference. And I've been using this to generate over 100K every single month in my own business. And it's probably the most effective way to basically take advantage of this massive, massive desire and need from businesses to get more customers. Because email marketing is one of the most kind of scalable things. You just need to like build it once and then kind of forget about it and just feed it with new leads that you get. And so many people think that leads are like really hard to find. You just literally download them off websites and you just keep on pumping it out and just keep on basically reaching out to people. People are going to raise their hand and say, yes, I'm interested. You have a very easy conversation with them, explain the process. They either say yes or no. My students that come into our program that have got zero sales skills, never had a sales conversation before. They're not good at sales by any means, no disrespect to some of them, but total respect to them is the fact that they've chosen a business model that they don't need to be good at sales at. They just literally have a conversation. They're closing at like, one of our students is closing at like 50%. He's signed 4 of his first 8 sales calls because he's just selling something that these business owners want. It's not difficult to do. And I'm sure if we were to fast forward 2 months, of those 4 that didn't purchase, probably 2 or 3 more will when the time is right. So it's really, really simple, really, really straightforward. So how can you, sat the other side of the screen, take advantage of this opportunity? Because as technology evolves, there's going to be like softwares that come out, for example, that allow business owners to do everything that we've just talked about with a click of a button. There's going to be somebody that comes along and makes this software or makes a software available so that everybody can do whatever they want with the, through AI. And what we're doing in maybe 5 years' time is going to be not necessarily obsolete, but it's going to change a lot. So we need to start like taking advantage of it now. So how can you do that? Well, you need to understand how to do cold emails. It's really, really simple. There's loads of things online. There's loads of videos like in my channel from like a year ago where I was talking a lot more about how to do cold emails. You can go back and watch a bunch of those. You can send me a message on Instagram if you have any questions about it, but you can basically learn about cold emails. It's really not that difficult. You then reach out to business owners saying, do you want to pay per lead? You don't have to, give me a load of money up front. You don't have to pay for a billboard and hope that it's going to work. You simply pay me for the results that I generate for you. And then you work with people that already know how to do the skill. You can find them on Fiverr. You can find them on Upwork. We actually, inside our community for our paid students, what we do is we've already trained and certified experts, and we pair students up with cold email lead generation experts so that they can do it for them. But you just need to find somebody that can do it for you. You charge the business owner $200, for example. You pay the lead generator $100 and you keep the difference. It really is that simple. All you have to do is just manage the relationship with the client, which is just a bit of messaging back and forth every other day, just letting them know what's happening, etc., etc., taking payment and paying lead generators and all that good stuff. So it really is a very simple business model. I actually spend about an hour a day working in my lead arbitrage business. So there we go. That is how you can start to take advantage. If you want to find out more about how we can help you start your own lead arbitrage system, then click the link below. There's a free training that's going to walk you through exactly how to do it, how we might be able to help you, and everything in between. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.